Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about plotting points on the Cartesian plane. So this is, I think for some of you, this may be a review. You may have already been familiar with the Cartesian plane from middle school. Other people, this might not be a review. You may have already done this, but you may have forgotten it, or maybe you do know it very well. But either way, it is going to be a topic in this course as well that I'm going to review. Okay, so here it says plot each pair of points and connect them with a line. So before I plot the points and connect them with a line, what I'm going to do is I'm going to label my graph. I'm going to label this as 1, 2, actually, it's hard to see that. Let's do this with blue, just so it's easier to spot. 3, 4, and same with here, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then -1, -2, -3, -4, -1, -2, -3, and -4. Amazing. We did it. Okay. So now let's do E. Let's do the line E. So I'm going to plot these points. So just a reminder, or maybe this is new, maybe this isn't a reminder, but is the first time you're doing it. The first number in each coordinate point represents the x-axis, and the x-axis is this one here. You see a little x right there? That says this one. The horizontal one is the x-axis, right? The one that goes left to right is the x-axis. And then the one that goes up and down, the vertical axis, that's the y-axis. You see a little y up here indicating that that's the y-axis. And so the first number indicates that x is equal to 1, and the second number indicates y. So it indicates y is equal to 2. So what I'm going to do to find this point is I'm going to go over 1. I'm going to start at the origin. I'm going to go over 1, right? And then up 2, right? So over 1, up 2, and that's my point. And I'm actually going to erase these other lines I've drawn. We just need that point, 1, 2. Now what's our other point? 4, 4. So we need 4 for x. So I'm going to go 4 over this way, and then 4 up. And then there's my point. And same thing, we don't actually need these lines or anything like that. That's just me showing you how I got to there. And then we're going to connect those points. We're going to connect those points because it says to connect them with a line. So there's E. Okay, now I'm going to grab a different color pen, maybe green. I like green as well, for G. The first one says that x is -4, so we go all the way to -4 for x, and then -2, so we go down 2 with respect to the y-axis. And so our first point would be right here. Then the second point is 2, -5, so 2 across, and then 5 down would be down to there. And so that would be our next point. And then it says to connect them with a line. So let's do that. Let's connect them with a line. There we go. And now let's move on to O. Let's move on to O. Let's use a different color. How about orange? I want the colors to be different enough that we're not confusing the lines. I don't want any two colors to be too similar. And I feel so far we're good. So here for our first point, we have 3, -3. So that would be here. Why? Because we go 3 this way, so 3 for x, and then down 3 to indicate -3 for the y-axis. There we go. So that's 3, -3. The other point is 4, 1. So we go 4 to our right to get to 4 for x, and then 1 for up and down, right? Because, y-axis is the vertical or up and down axis. And there we go. And let's connect them. Excellent. And then our last one is S, which let's do like a navy blue. We haven't done a navy blue for any of them. -2 for X and 4 for Y. So that would be here, right? Because I went -2 to our left for left or right, and then for up or down, I went 4 up because y was 4. And then for this next one, it's 0, -2. So that means we don't go left or right, we just stay in the middle. And then we go down 2 for y. So it's here would be the point. And then let's connect those lines. And there we go. Okay. So there's actually a second exercise that is identical to this first exercise. The only difference being they changed up the numbers, but it's very, very similar. It's the same method that you'll use for either one. So I advise you to give this a try first, see if you're able to do this and get the same lines that I get. That said, though, after you're done, I will take this up, or if you're still unsure and want to see it again, that's okay too. You can watch me do it one more time. But yeah, that's basically the point of these is to take a look at what the x value is, see whether we go left or right and by how many. And same with then the y value tells us how much do we go up or down, and then we plot the point in that space. So yeah, so let's move on to number 2. Okay. All right, so let's do O. Let's do O in navy blue. Okay. Oh, and I guess I should also label this graph. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Okay. So let's do 0, -1, and then 4, 3. So that would be here and here. And there we go. Okay. So let's do the next one in this kind of, I'm not sure what color that is, like that fuchsia color. That might not be the right words. But anyway, let's do the next one with this color. We have x as -1 and y as 0. So that means we go 1 to the left, but we don't go up or down, right? Because y is 0. And then we have -3, 4. So there we go. Right? So we went 3 to the left for x, and then y was 4, so we went up 4. And then we connect the dots. Okay. All right. So now let's do n in orange. -5, 2. So that means we're going 5 to the left, and then we're going to go 2 up. So that would be here. And then we have -3, -3. So we're going 3 to the left and 3 down, which would be here. And then we'll connect those dots. So there we go. Okay. And then we've got L, which is 5, -1, and -2, -4. And then we draw this line. Oh, that wasn't a very nice line. We draw this line like that. Actually, I should be using my straight line tool to draw nice straight lines. Actually, let's do that. I'll fix up all of them. There's an entire tool for this on this device, so let's do that. It'll just make them look a bit nicer. And of course, on a test or something, do make sure you use a ruler. On this device, you can't use a ruler, but there is a tool to do it this way. So if you are using a device like I am, then see if there's like an option that, which there likely is, to draw nice straight lines, just because it makes it look a bit more professional that way. Yeah, that looks a lot better than what I kind of had up here, which where my lines are relatively straight, but not quite. I'll fix those up later before posting that. Okay, but very good. All right, so let's continue with some other examples. This one says, number 3, example. You collected data on the height of your corn each week to see if there's a relationship between the time and the height. So I would imagine there is, right? The more time that passes by, the more time that passes by, the higher the corn is likely to grow. Perhaps it stops at a certain point. There may be a certain point in time when corn is just as tall as it's ever going to get and it stops, but I would imagine there is a relationship. The data collected are shown in the table below. So length of time in weeks versus the height of the corn. And our job is to graph the data in the table on the graph provided and label each axis and to give our graph a title. Okay, so first let's plot these points. So we have 0, 0 as the first point. Then we have 1, 5. So 1 week would give us 5 centimeters of corn. Then it's 2 would be 18. So there we go. Then, oh, that's why it's being weird. It's on this setting and not the regular drawing tool. Then we have 3 and 29. So just shy of 30 there. And then we have 4 and 45. Then we have 5 and 59. Then we have 6 and 70. And there we go. It also says to label each axis and give your graph a title. So let's do that. Let's say the title is somewhat up to you, but it also needs to be relevant to what the graph is telling us. So what's the purpose of this graph? This graph is to show that how much the corn grows depending on the week. So this graph is going to be called height. I'm going to call it height of corn over at 6 weeks. Let's say over 6 weeks. But yeah, as long as your title is relevant, then that's the main thing. Make sure your title is relevant to what the graph's purpose is. Okay, and then over here, I'm going to say this is our length of time in weeks. And over here, this is the height of the corn in centimeters, like that. Very good. Okay. Let's do example 4, and then that's it for today. The data in the table represent the values of the vehicle after different amounts of time, right? Because vehicles depreciate in value, meaning that they lose value every year. Now, I don't think they actually do it quite like this, but let's just say they do. Construct a scatter plot using the data below. Give your graph a title and label each axis. So let's give our graph a title. Let's say the vehicle value over time. Okay. All right, and then this axis would be the years after purchase. Okay, and over here it would be the value of the vehicle in dollars. Okay. So after 0 years, it's $28,000, which is there. After 1 year, $24,000. 2 years, and it's $21,000. So let's see. So in the middle of 18 and 24, it would be 21. Okay, so that would be right on there. 3 would be 18. 5 would be 14. 8 would be $9,000. And then 10 would be $5,000, a little less than 6,000. Awesome. All right, well, there we have it. Okay, well, good work today, everyone. Hope you learned about the Cartesian plane, and we'll see everyone for next day where we'll talk about interpreting the data from our plane. Bye, everyone.